Welcome to the Enlightened Chat, where we hold space for the unseen, the inner work, and the truths we dare to live. I'm your host, Aisha Simpson. In today's episode, we're exploring a deeper meaning of what it truly means to not live in sin. Not in a way it's often preached as rules to follow or behaviors to avoid, but as a matter of the heart's condition. We'll center on sin of unforgiveness, how it quietly shapes our thoughts, distorts our perceptions of others, and separates us from the love we are all called to embody. What if living in sin is simply holding on to thoughts that are unlike God's thoughts? What if tending to our internal state, resolving inner conflict, returning to love is the way out? This conversation is not about perception, it is about tending. So take a deep breath and let's begin. To not live in sin is to tend the inner terrain of forgiveness. To not live in sin, such as the sin of unforgiveness, is not simply to speak words of pardon or to act kindly despite of inner tension. It is to enter the interior field of conflict, to tend the soil of the heart, and to tend to the every root of bitterness until it transforms into compassion. Sin in this context is not about breaking a rule, it's about withholding love, about allowing the wound to speak louder than the spirit. The sin of unforgiveness is the decision, often unconscious, to remain tethered to pain rather than move through it with grace. Unforgiveness as internal distortion. When we do not forgive, our internal state of being distorts. Thoughts of others become narrowed by judgment. The imagination replaces injury instead of envisioning peace. We become spiritually constipated, unable to release what we were never meant to hold forever. Thus, unforgiveness is not simply a failure to let go. It is a failure to grow like God in thought. And this is the deeper meaning of sin, to remain unlike the divine, even while bearing its image. The Garden of Thought. To resolve unforgiveness is to return to the garden of the mind and examine what is growing there. What thoughts have become thorns, which memories need composting into wisdom. God's thoughts towards us are not accusatory. Even when we have erred, they are restorative, patient, unwavering in love. So to not live in sin of unforgiveness is to bring our thoughts into alignment with this holy pattern, to allow grace to shape our mental language about others until we see them as God sees us, redeemable, fallible, and worthy of mercy. Tending is an ongoing practice. This tending is not once and done. It's daily. It requires stillness, self-inquiry, and a willingness to rescind the ego's need to be right and justified. Forgiveness becomes less about the other person's worthiness and more about our own willingness to live free of inner poison.